Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be crocheting the Iris vest top. This crochet pattern is a free pattern that I found on Pinterest and it uses a DK weight yarn. So luckily last week I was able to go yarn shopping at Hobby Lobby and I picked up some DK weight yarns that I thought might be good for this project. Starting with this white yarn, I got this Yarn Bee Bamboo Tuffle. This is a bamboo cotton mix. I thought white is always a good neutral, so this is definitely a top option. My next choice was this Yarn Bee Yarntopia Heather purple color. This is really similar to what's in the pattern, and I liked the look of the one on the pattern, so this is the second choice as well. I'm still going back and forth between these two colors. Nevertheless, I still picked up 3 other colors in the Yarntopia yarn. I got a muted blue, a dark turquoise green, and a light pink. These probably I won't use in this video, but I thought I'd show you anyway, as I'm gonna add them to my stash. This pattern is written to be crocheted in 3 pieces, the front 2 panels and the back panel. In my mind, it makes sense that I could crochet all 3 panels in one piece up into the underarms, and then I would break off and finish crocheting the front 2 panels and the back panel. We'll see if that works out, but it makes sense in my head, so I'm gonna give it a try and see how it goes. So this pattern calls for 4mm and 3.5mm crochet hooks. So this is my 4. Can't remember which one. It's 3. Where is my 3.5? I think it's pink. I was right, it's the pink one. The rest of these can go away. Stitch markers. Trying to decide what color. I think I'm gonna do white. For one, this material is bamboo cotton, and so it's more breathable for like a summer piece than the acrylic. And I just feel like white will go more, and I'll be more likely to wear this more if it's white. Hank, my little wiener dog, is chomping in the background, if you can hear it. Based on my measurements, I believe that a small will fit me best, so that's the size I'm gonna be making. Okay, so I went ahead and did the math to how many stitches I would need to go ahead and cast on and crochet all 3 panels at once. For all of them, I need to go to row 26 before I start doing any shaping. So I'm gonna go ahead and start out this way and see how it goes. I guess if anything, it doesn't work out and I have to rip it back and do it the way the pattern says, so be it. But I wanna challenge myself a little bit and see if my idea works. So let's get started. First things first, I'm gonna gauge swatch because I want this to fit right. So let's go ahead and do that first. This is how far I got on the gauge, but it's like right on. So I'm not gonna even do any more. I'm just gonna go ahead and start the project. I'm pretty confident about this gauge with this hook and this yarn, so.
Popular and trendy and like whatever, and at first I was like, what's the big deal about these Lulubus? And then I saw them, I was like, wait, they're really freaking cute. Oh, there's my kids.
Hi. You hitting my yarn over here. Hi. All right, so far I've crocheted 12 rows, but before I go any further, I just want to check my gauge to make sure I'm on track. Okay, so after measuring my gauge, it is measuring a little small. So I have more stitches and rows per inch than I'm supposed to. However, because this is a cotton bamboo blend yarn, I feel like blocking it'll grow a little bit. So I think I'm just gonna keep going. I did put it around my waist and it seems to go around all the way, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much.
Fairy come to life. Okay, I'm gonna get back to it.
I just got home after work. It is Thursday and my weekend, so happy weekend. It is also the third day working on this project. Now, it is a little bit slow going, but I'm trying to keep in mind that I'm working all 3 panels in one instead of separate pieces, so that could be why it's just quite a few stitches long every row. So yeah, I'm gonna keep chugging along. I believe I'm on row 17 or 18, and the pattern says to do 26 rows before the underarms. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to do more than that because I don't think it's gonna be tall enough for how long I want it. But I'm gonna go to 26 and then we'll see where we're at. So hopefully today I can make some good progress on this. I have some bad news. Remember when I said I was really confident in the gauge swatch and it was right on and yada yada yada? Well, I'm wishing I would have completed the gauge swatch because it seems as though after enough rows, I'm not on gauge. So right now I'm measuring like an inch too small, and I think that's becoming more and more obvious because this is 23 rows and this is supposed to be 3 more rows and it would hit the underarm, which if I put it around myself, let's see, it does fit around, but it's nowhere near my underarm if I want it as long as I want it. And oops, I'm ripping out a bunch of stitches too. So I have some choices. I can either just continue, make it smaller and give it to somebody that it will fit, or I can restart. I could, a third option would be to block this and see if it grew enough, which I guess there's a chance that it maybe would, but looking at the video that goes along with this pattern, I can already tell that her stitches are way larger and looser than what I have here. I can't really blame anybody but myself, but I guess I just need to decide what I want to do. At this point, it's Thursday at 7:40 p.m. and I was hoping to get this finished so I could post the video Saturday, but that might not be happening. The other thing I could do is just set this aside, don't frog it, don't decide to do anything yet, and try to hit gauge with the purple and just start another one in purple. I do think that this yarn is a little bit thicker than the white as well. What I should have done is just probably sized up a hook. The problem is I don't think I have a 4.5 millimeter. So the pattern calls for a 4 millimeter and a 3.5 millimeter. And I should have known because I always have tighter tension than what patterns say. So I almost always have to size up hooks. So honestly, it's my fault, but I don't think I have a 4.5 millimeter, so I would have to go all the way to a 5, which would still probably be fine. So maybe I'll crochet up a swatch with a larger hook with the white and the purple, and I'll measure those, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do. Okay, let's do that. This is the purple yarn on a 5 millimeter crochet hook. I honestly think I could even size up more, but after working with this, I just realized I'm really set on the white. I liked how the white looked. So what I'm going to do, because I don't want to rip out all my work yet, especially if I can't figure out the gauge. I mean, I'm sure I can, but we're gonna see. I'm just gonna grab this other skein that I have, start with the 5 millimeter, working up another gauge, and then we're gonna see what happens. It's not going. I thought it was going so good, and I kind of could tell it wasn't getting as tall as I thought it should be. I guess the only other thing I could do is just keep going. I'll have to do more rows to go up. It should be fine around. And then I might have to fudge the neckline shaping because it's not gonna need to decrease at the same rate because I'm gonna need to do more rows to get it the correct height. So I would have to do some math and figure that out. And it's possible I could do that. I don't know if I want to or if I have the time to, but I don't really have the time to rip it all out again either. So I'm just gonna do another swatch, see how I feel. Maybe a looser gauge will make it go by faster. We'll see. Okay. White swatch with 5mm hook is much better in my opinion. Looking at the video, this looks way more similar, and I'll try to show you a comparison. I should learn my lesson and just make a full swatch, but at this point I don't have the time. But here you can see my swatch on top and what I was knitting with. I think it's obvious that there is a big difference. So I'm gonna restart. I'm just gonna restart with this ball because I'm not quite ready to completely rip this out yet. Even though I'm probably gonna end up ripping it out anyway. It still just, you know, hurts the heart a little. I just wanted to update. It's 11:56 p.m. now, and I am on row 21. I believe with this one I was at row 23, and it's wider and taller already, and it's less rows. So definitely going with this. I'm pretty happy with the amount of work I got done tonight. Yeah, now I'm feeling a little more hopeful that maybe I will be able to finish this on time. Okay, I just finished row number 26, and according to the pattern, that should be the point where we start the shaping for the front and the back panels. So I think this length could be okay because I am going to be wearing this with high-waisted pants, and as you can see, that's my pants, and if I line this up right to meet my pants, it's about to my underarms. I do anticipate this to stretch out a little bit and grow, so I'm trying to decide if I should add maybe like 2 or 4 more rows, just because I feel like it'd be better a little bit longer than too short. Let me stand up and see. You're not gonna be able to see this. The other thing is, I don't know how big the pattern is accounting for as far as the armhole goes. Okay, so after doing some math, after 26 rows, if the gauge is 12 rows per 4 inch, I divided 26 by 12 and it was 2 point something, and then times it by the 4 inches because there should have been 4 inches for every 12 rows, and that got me 8.6. So that tells me that I should have 8.6 inches of height before starting any armhole shaping. So because of that, I am just gonna keep adding rows until I get to that length. Then after that, I'm gonna see how many decrease rounds I need to do, because I believe that my stitch gauge is good, my row gauge is just a little short. And actually, let me double check that. Yeah, so I have now worked well past the 8.5 inch mark. It's actually closer to 9 inches, which is great. I even considered adding more length, but I thought I would just stop here because if I add too much length, I don't know that the amount of yarn I got would be enough. So we're gonna go with this. I have marked the front panels to differentiate the back from the front panels in order to start the armhole shaping. So I am going to start that. Okay, the back only has, let's see, 5 rows of decreasing for the armholes, and then it just works straight up. So I'm just gonna work it as is, and then on the straight up portion, I'm just gonna add more height since my row gauge is a little bit shorter than the pattern. So I had to do the decrease 1 stitch on each side a little bit differently. Either way, I still decreased the correct number of stitches, and I'm thinking now I should be on track with the rest of the decreases. Hopefully. I think that was just because I worked it all in one, so my stitches ended a little bit differently than if I worked it in panels. But crisis averted, I think. I believe from here, I'm just going to be working straight up. It's gonna be kind of hard to tell. I skipped the first few stitches and then decreased slightly. Now I'm just gonna work straight up. So I'm just gonna work up until I need the height that the actual gauge would have got me, but I might have to work a few more rows because, like I said, my row gauge is a little bit too short. Okay, I just hit the point where the pattern says to stop for the back panel and fasten off. But before I do that, I am going to measure this upper portion after I started the armhole shaping. And yeah, it's measuring 6.5, about 6 3/4. And I believe it needs to be more like 8. I'm gonna check my math, but I think I'm gonna end up needing to add a few more rows, which is fine. I kind of expected that. And because at this point it's just working straight up, I don't think it's gonna really affect anything for me to add a few more rows to get it to be a little longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my math and add the rows I need to, and then I'll check back in and we'll go from there. Okay, I ended up doing 4 more rows for the back portion than what the pattern said. Now I am going to fasten this off, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the front panels. Okay, let's go. Okay, that is all the crocheting for the main part. So now what I'm going to do is seam the shoulders. All that's left to do on this crochet vest is crochet a single crochet border around the neckline and armholes, and then create the ties. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, and then we will jump to the finished product. Do you want up here? I do want to mention, this is how much yarn I have left. I did rewind this after ripping out my first attempt. It's pretty tightly wound, so I think there's more yarn here than what it looks like. I need to do 2 rows of single crochet around the entire neckline, and I believe 2 around the armholes, and then make the ties. So a little bit of yarn chicken here. I'm not too worried yet, but we'll see how I feel after finishing this neckline, and go from there. But I have other white yarns that will probably work if I run out. They're a little different, but let's not think about that yet. Let's see how far this gets us, and then we'll worry about that when the time comes. Okay, I just read the pattern and realized it's actually 3 rows of single crochet, and on the 3rd row you incorporate the ties. So hopefully we still have enough yarn. This is what we're working with. But yeah, it's 3 rows, not 2. All right, let's see. I think I just need to fasten off. Okay, that was the entire neckline. I'm not gonna try it on yet because I want to do a final reveal. I'm gonna weave in this end. I believe all the other ends I've worked over, and then I'm going to crochet around the armholes. Without cheating, let me know in the comments if you think I'm gonna win yarn chicken with this much yarn. I have to crochet 2 rows of single crochet around either armhole. All right, well, this ended up being more than enough yarn, so 2 skeins of the white was just about perfect for the size I did. I am gonna go ahead and weave in my ends, and then let's see what the finished product looks like.